Hey, Tim Sykes here with another daily video lesson. I am filming this into the market close on a Tuesday. I'm going to post it pre-market Wednesday because, again, a lot of what I teach is not so important in the moment that I'm actually teaching it. I want you to start to learn that there is a process behind everything that I do, and it is that process that has made me successful over time. So you need to learn my process and take from it what you want, leave from it what you will, and create your own process that works for your own personality and schedule. Because we all have different personalities and different schedules. You know, you will not get rich just trying to copy somebody else's strategy if it doesn't suit your personality. You know, if you look up to a trader who always short sells and you hate short selling, guess what? It's probably not going to end very well for you. You can try, you can try to get better. I know some people who hate short selling at first and then grow to love it. But if you, don't do well, and if you keep feeling uncomfortable day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, try different strategies, try different processes, see what works for you. So I'm proud to share with you what has worked with me, but also understand this is just me. And I have kind of a crazy life and a crazy personality. So this video, with that little disclaimer, is going to be about my process of how I look to potentially take stocks overnight. Some people like holding stocks intraday. Some people like holding stocks overnight. If you're under the PDT rule, you can only do 3 day trades per week, but you can hold a stock long every single night. And my E-Trade account this year is under the PDT rule. I've turned it into 12,000 into like 16,000, but the PDT rule still prohibits me from over trading, which I think is a good thing. I think the PDT rule is useful because I am an over trader. Part of the reason why I have such a crazy schedule is to protect me from myself. The PDT rule also helps. But we have roughly 30 minutes into the close right now, and I start looking at potential trades to hold overnight, long or short. Right now, as I film this on a Tuesday, the market is getting crushed, the overall market. Remember, 3 out of 4 stocks follow the market. So no matter what you're doing, you have to be aware of what the overall market is doing because it might influence your trades. If the stock market is pretty much unchanged, it doesn't matter. But in this case, we've had a big bull market the past few months and years. And especially the past few days, and this is a potential trend change. We also have the State of the Union address from our president tonight. As I'm filming this, this is going to be in roughly, 6 hours. So kind of a tough environment to trade when the overall market is down 1% and you have this big speech and we have a president where you don't really know what he's going to say next. So do I really want to take an overnight position? Most likely not. That said, there's still some potential trades. POTN has been a hot stock lately. I'm always watching the hottest stocks over the past few days and weeks. You can always see that on my watch list. Like if you ever ask, hey, how did you find this on your watch list? I'm always looking at the big percent winners over 1 day, 3 days, 5 days, 7 days. All of those scans are built into stocks to trade. I'm traveling right now, so I'm not using that scan this minute, but I know that this is one of the biggest percent winners in the past few days. So I've been looking to dip buy it into morning panics. It was actually a decent dip buy again for nearly 20%. It was a little choppy though. When I dip buy, I really like dip buying the first big crash, and yesterday was a 30% bouncer. Today was only half of that, and there was a fake out before the ultimate bottom. So understand it's kind of like a bouncing ball. And you want to buy the first bounce. That's usually the easiest, or the first crash. And that was yesterday. So I wasn't even really looking to trade POTN today. We got a little bit of a bounce. I mean, there was some money to be made, but kind of tricky. That would be my number one potential dip buy. Also, I was looking at dip buying CDXC, but this one just can't bounce. There was news the other day of Zuckerberg investing in it. But that news turned out to be from November, and that's probably why this thing ran up from 4 to 7. Now it's back into the 4s, and it's kind of sketchy that it can't bounce. So the market tells me that, guess what? This is not doing well, so that is not a potential bounce play. What is strong right now? Well, if I look at the big percent winners, WATT, which is one of the big supernovas, guess what? This is having a first big green day today. They got a new patent, and the stock is surging, breaking to new highs. So this is a potential buy. The problem being it's a $20 stock. With my small account, I guess I could trade it with a big account, but given how the overall market is, I don't really want to trade aggressively tonight if I do trade at all. So I would trade with a small account, and a $20 stock with a $16,000 account. I mean, what's best case scenario? I might make it like 75 cents a share. It's tough for me to buy this. If this was a $3.90 stock, I would be long this on the first green day with a patent. But at $20 and a choppy stock, WATT has always been tough to play, especially overnight. Not my favorite. Another higher price stock that I was looking at, big percent winner, AKAO. This was a recent supernova a little while ago back here. So I like, looking at the recent big winners of the past 1, 3, 5 days, but also remember recent supernovas. And AKAO, did go from 6 all the way up to 27 before coming down. This one is having a first big green day, and they had some positive news today. Again, these are potential gappers. But again, best case scenario on this, what? Am I going to make 50 cents a share overnight? Given the overall market risk, given the State of the Union risk, if the market was unchanged, I probably might be long this. But I do have to consider that this could be a major top, and who knows what's going to happen at the State of the Union tonight. I mean, the market could open down another 1% or 2% tomorrow, or it could open up 1 or 2%. I just don't know. Looking at my other big percent winners, I mean, there's not much. POTN managed to go green, so maybe, it is going to come back. But at the same time, I mean, it's had morning panic after morning panic, and you have to think about the overall market risk. IMMR had that deal with Apple yesterday, but it finished near its lows. And then today, I mean, I think it was kind of just a short squeeze. Now it's kind of mid-range, the high being 1150, the low being 10, and it's like at 1050. Or the high being 1150, the low being 950, and it's at 1050. So this is the definition of mid-range. So I don't really want to buy or short a stock mid-range, especially with kind of a conflicting piece of news like that, where they're working with Apple, but they kind of forced their way to working with Apple. They sued Apple, and Apple had to settle a lawsuit. So it's not really the beginning of a bright, rosy, happy relationship. It's like kind of a forced, arranged marriage. And that's just tough for me to buy into. That's tough for a lot of investors to buy into. Just looking at what's up today, I mean, there's really nothing. PTOTF is nice in the fact that it has a multi-month breakout and it keeps going, but now it's getting a little overextended and there's no news. I mean, this play really is, they have this, kind of next generation explosive detection, like which they're talking with all these resorts and hotels in Vegas, which could theoretically prevent the Vegas shooting. But the question is, will they actually get a contract? They're in the Westgate Hotel, which, if you've ever been to Vegas, is not one of the major hotels. So it's kind of a waiting game. People are speculating. There was a CEO letter last week saying we're talking with hotels and resorts, but for me, it really needs to spike on news. Like they need to win a contract, or they need to even just test install their system in some big hotel or resort. So I can't really chase an overextended stock that's speculative, especially in this market. So I'm kind of boxed out with these potential plays. WATT, normally I'm interested in the first green day, but high price, bad overall market keeps me out. AKAO, same kind of thing. This doesn't really have a great history of multi-day spikes either. WATT and AKAO are both kind of tricky. So I'm going to end this video now because I don't know what I'm going to do, but I don't really see anything that's going to, pique my interest. A lot of the other big winners, PRMCF just keeps falling, and today it actually took out support. So I'm not going to buy a stock that takes out support. EMHTF also, same kind of thing. It's a little bit of a stronger chart, but only 2 red days. Last time it had 4 red days in a row when it was a good dip buy. So I'm just going to sit here and do nothing. Sometimes the best trade is no trade. LTBR I see is also down a lot. Tough chart to buy. So KSHB also. All the weed stocks are kind of rolling over, and everything is up so much. You have to keep everything in perspective too. Like the past few days, the past few weeks have been incredible. So we're kind of due for some consolidation. So if you're looking for, stuff to dip buy, dip buying is like when something is overextended, but a lot of these stocks just deserve to go down in my mind. And then you have the overall market risk, which kind of overhangs over everything. So if you understand why I'm probably not going to take a trade before the market close, leave a comment saying sometimes the best trade is no trade at all. And I know that's tough because you want your money working for you, but if you trade random stocks and random patterns and low odds setups, you're just going to have random results. The key to my success is staying disciplined and waiting for the best setups to come to me. So I'll wait. Thank you.